Welcome to my Jamaican YouTube channel. On this channel, I take you on a journey to explore the vibrant and rich culture of Jamaica. Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, I'm in Orlando, Florida, and I'm here with Dr. Gersham Nelson. Thank
Well,
you.
I looked forward to this conversation.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Dr. Nelson, my first question to you is who is Dr. Gersham Nelson?
Uh, Gersham Nelson is a retired dean of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, a retired professor, an author of a number of books, editor of 2 books, author of a number of chapters in books, as well as articles in magazines.
Okay.
First and foremost, I would identify myself as an educator.
Okay.
It has been my life's mission to advance the education of all those with whom I interact.
Right.
More pointedly, during my last 30 years of work, I taught as a professor. I
Okay.
administered departments and colleges and organized both from the curricular level to the funding level to the uh, admissions level, the entire range of responsibilities associated with the university.
Wow. I see, based on what you've said, that you mentioned fundraising. I want to look at that a little bit. I see that you have devoted much of your time to assist in raising funds for the financially challenged, specifically Nakalva. Is it?
Yes, Nakalva Polytechnic College, and there you
Yes.
touch a very delicate, a sacred commitment that I have. So that tells you a bit of my history. I went to Nakalva Agricultural School.
Okay.
The institution is one of 3 that the government founded in the early 1940s. Dint
Okay.
Hill and Homewood are the
Yes.
others. Dint Hill and Homewood were made into technical high schools. Nakalva remained an agricultural school.
Okay.
During my experience, not only as a student in a primary school, which is now what we call all age school,
Right.
but in the high school, as well as in college. I went to Church Teachers College, trained as a teacher, and taught as a
Okay.
teacher. I'll tell you a little bit about that later.
Absolutely.
But during that period, I encountered a large number of peers
Okay.
who had the requisite capacity, who made absolutely no progress beyond where they were, either at the elementary level or high school level,
Wow.
largely because of the lack of opportunity.
Opportunities.
And when I reflect on my path, it seems
Yes.
to me as if there's something so wrong about the fact that so many talented individuals
Yes.
did not get to develop their capacity and to make
Right.
their families, themselves, and the world a better
A better.
place. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So my mission to aid young people who are financially challenged is born out of personal experience.
Okay.
And I can tell you more about that later.
Oh.
After graduating from Nakalva,
Mhm.
I went on to Church Teachers College. My trajectory was to go on to the Jamaica School of Agriculture to become a vet. That was the plan. However,
Okay.
however, the year I was supposed to go to JSA, which was then located at Twickenham Park, St. Catherine, the institution was taking women for the first year and delayed us 3 months. In
Okay.
the meantime, I got a job teaching in a primary school. And the position was so exciting, the youngsters so enthusiastic, that I made a commitment to continue with them. And the natural path was for me to go to be trained as a teacher. Thus,
Okay.
I went to Church Teachers College in
College.
Mandeville. After graduation from church, I went to teach at Tivoli High.
So you abandoned the thought of the JSA studies.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was so focused on the mission of teaching that I gave no
Right.
further thought to JSA.
JSA.
Although I kept in close contact with my friends who went
Who
on to
went there?
JSA,
Yes.
because there were
Yes.
several of us with that
Yes.
plan,
Yes.
and they went on to
To
JSA.
and you went in
And
another direction.
correct,
But you found out that you had this passion for
that
teaching.
is correct.
Okay. Okay.
And uh, I knew I wanted to go on to further studies, and my salary from teaching would not
Would not
allow me to do that.
correct.
Uh, so I took a second and a third job. Uh, the second job was teaching.
Teaching related.
Yes, I taught at St. Andrew Technical in
Okay.
their
Okay.
extension division during
Okay.
the evenings, and then I got a job selling encyclopedias. I sold
Wow.
Grolier encyclopedias
Yes.
during that period because
Okay.
I developed a budget. I knew what it would take for me to travel to the United States
Yes.
to get a
Yes.
degree. Is that I worked 3 jobs to get enough funds for my travel abroad to study.
Okay.
I was denied entry to the United States
Hmm.
even after I secured the
The
I-20
funding.
form.
Okay.
I was accepted by a university, issued an I-20 form. I was then to
Still.
get the visa, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service denied me on various grounds.
Yes.
Some
Okay.
were ultimately proven to be spurious, but
Hmm.
nonetheless,
Right.
I was denied. Through some coincidence, I was able to go to Canada.
Oh.
And so I found myself in the winter of 1975 in
In.
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh.
That was my first introduction to winter, to
Wow.
snow, to
Wow.
sleet.
Wow.
Uh, Attended the University of Manitoba, and
Okay.
because I had been accumulating funds,
Right.
I was able to complete the degree in less than 2 years.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
I worked, I didn't overload every semester, and there were 2 summer sessions.
Yes.
I worked during the summer
So
sessions.
you went right through
Correct,
without breaks.
correct.
You
And
probably got some credits for the studies you had done in
I did
Jamaica.
indeed. I received
Okay.
some credits for the studies I did.
Right.
I haven't mentioned that I did ordinary level and advanced level independently because that was not required of NACALVA students.
Oh, because that's a traditional high school
Correct, correct.
that would do that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so after finishing the first degree, again in education, in educational psychology with a minor in history, I came to the United States, went
Okay.
to the University of Illinois at Chicago,
Okay.
did a master's degree there and later a PhD. I
Oh,
worked at a number of
okay.
institutions in the Chicagoland area. Got the
Okay.
PhD in 1987 and immediately got a tenure track position in Maryland. I left Chicago in 1987,
Okay.
the same year I received the PhD, to a tenure track position in Maryland, where I spent 10 years
Okay.
as an assistant, an associate, and full professor. And then I took a position at the Eastern Michigan University as head of history and philosophy. Time I did a number of research projects. I received a few fellowships, research related. I wrote a a book on my part of my experience in Canada. Having gone through that process
Right.
from Michigan, then I took a position as Dean of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences at the University of Central Missouri.
Okay.
And throughout that period, from my experience in Canada, Winnipeg,
Yes.
Manitoba, to Missouri, the path has been truly exciting, adequately challenging.
Hmm.
However, upon reflection, it occurred to me that my work isolated me almost completely from African Americans and Jamaicans. Even the diaspora
Yes.
community was at arm's length because I was working at majority institutions.
Yes.
And upon reflection,
Yes.
it occurred to me that I needed to give back
Okay.
in a very specific
Yes.
way because my experience is that there are so many Jamaicans who would have achieved considerably more given the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So when my wife and I decided to retire, one of the goals was to found a foundation, create
Wow.
a foundation that would allow us to raise funds and give back to the country. It is very
Great.
clear to me. I think I have the formulation, the formula for success.
Yes. Yes. Tell
The
us.
formula for success is quite straightforward.
Yes.
It begins with thought.
Okay.
Thought is translated into words.
Yes.
Words are translated into
Action.
actions.
Yes.
Actions that are repeated, constructive actions repeated,
Results.
create habits.
Yes.
And good habits over a period of time translate into character
Right.
and ultimately a destiny.
Yes.
So I'm aware that throughout that process, that formula that I've described, it revolves around education. And I know that if we provide our young people with education, empower them to think,
Yes.
to talk, that is translating thoughts into
Into
words,
right.
and to translate those words into actions, they'll not only be able to discover new knowledge, they'll also be able to create new knowledge by
Yes.
developing hypotheses, testing
Yes.
them, and bringing all of that to bear on life itself.
Powerful.
So my work is focused on education, and I hope to do much more than merely funding scholarships. We're hoping to create an environment in which individuals can think critically about various aspects of their lives in an
Yes.
attempt to improve
Yes.
what they inherit. Because
Yes.
human beings are remarkable.
I agree.
Among all creatures, we're able to create a history of our forebearers.
Yes.
And when we look at what has been done and we are able to examine the strengths and the weaknesses, the
Mhm.
successes and the failures, we're able to improve on the
Absolutely.
past.
Absolutely.
So among the things that we are currently doing under the Nakalva International Alumni Association, since
Yes.
I didn't actually get to tell you the name of the not-for-profit corporation that we've
Right.
founded, we co-founded the International Alumni Association to raise funds for students who attend Nakalva. Now, Nakalva has
Okay.
transitioned and is still transitioning from an agricultural school to
Okay.
a polytechnic college.
Okay.
So the timing couldn't be better.
Right.
The transition
Right.
is in line with our goal to empower students to become not only knowledge workers,
Yes.
but also critical
Mhm.
thinkers who can actually ultimately create new
Mhm.
knowledge.
Yes. Yes. So you assist persons, students from Nakalva specifically.
Correct. That's the stage at which we are currently.
Okay, so you liaise with the school board
That's right.
or okay,
That's right. So
okay.
you hit the nail on the head. So we have a strong relationship
Hmm.
with the institution, working with the principal and working with the school board.
Okay.
In fact, Nakala recently appointed a new school board chair, and we had a robust conversation only a week ago
Awesome.
about the direction in which the institution is going.
Okay. So they identify the students that need assistance.
Yes. So
And
the process involves our establishing criteria for the scholarships, and I should note
right.
that we are currently funding 10 full-time students. In other words, 10 full scholarships. Full scholarships, by our definition, is one that covers all tuition.
Wow.
And we are currently offering 10 such scholarships um, for the academic year 23-24.
Okay.
For the academic year 24-25, we will fund another 10.
Wow.
So on our list, we will have 20 students receiving scholarships from us. For the following year, 10 of those students will graduate and we'll add another 10.
10.
Yes.
Wow. That's
And
amazing.
that is at the minimum. That is what we have budgeted for. But we continue to fundraise. So our goal is to increase that to 50. And I think it is within our capacity to do
To do that.
so in 2 years, based on the
Okay.
fundraising initiatives in which we are currently engaged. Our next fundraising initiative is a play
Yes. Look.
entitled "Look
Look
What
what
Fell
fell
Out the
out of the
Mango
mango tree.
Tree."
Yes.
Yes, and
Yes.
that is scheduled for the 24th of
March.
March,
Hmm.
2024. And we're looking forward to that here in Orlando, and hope that folks will secure their tickets
Yes.
and enjoy the play, because Deborah Earhart and Christopher Grossett, the actors, are phenomenal. And one should say something about that play, not only because of the creativity of these two Jamaicans. That's the exciting part about it as
Yes.
well,
Absolutely.
is that each of the actors perform performs multiple roles. Each performs at least 10 different roles.
No.
We have these two individuals switching characters. And
Okay.
that's what makes it truly remarkable. And
Yes.
they do it credibly, so that the audience knows which character
To where
is,
were they?
is
Okay.
speaking at any
That's
given
interesting.
time.
Yes. And is it based? Is it humorous?
Thank you for asking that question. Uh, it is a very serious play,
Okay.
because it speaks to some of the challenges that our people have. It
Oh.
speaks to family challenges that are based on the absence of adequate communication. So essentially, without giving away too much of the story,
Yes.
it is about a young lady who has observed a paradox. On the one hand, her father seems to love her, praises her, is proud of her, but is absent when it matters.
Hmm.
But it is humorous in
Okay.
a number of ways, so that audiences have been known to not only be in stitches, but sometimes be in tears,
Oh.
because it is touching on real life
Yes.
situations. And indeed, as I noted earlier, this is the life story of the actress.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is a true story uh,
Wow.
that the actress is telling about.
Oh, so she's the best person. She's
Yes,
playing her own part then.
she is, among
Wow.
other parts, of
Yes, of
course.
course.
Yes,
Yes, yes. So they say laughter hides the tears, I guess.
quite so, quite so.
Yes.
So on the one hand, there is humor,
Yes,
but in the long run, it is quite serious. It is
of
getting to the
course.
heart of some challenges in our culture.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's stage of our operation.
Sorry,
I
so they
should
have to maintain a certain academic performance.
correct, correct.
Okay.
So the second level of our plan
Mhm.
allows me to share with you that Nakalva International Alumni Association is a member of the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations.
Oh,
There's a Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations uh, here in the United States, and that
mhm.
union does a great deal to support each of the alumni associations. In fact, raise funds together, work on
Okay.
projects together. In fact, the UJA, as it is called,
Yes.
sponsors a primary school in Jamaica,
Oh, okay.
offers offers water containers to a number of the primary schools. There are water
Oh,
tanks
yes.
that are purchased and given to these primary schools.
Right.
There's a laptop program that UJA has sponsored. There is a
Hmm.
robotics
Hmm.
project that UJA sponsors. So there are a number of areas in which the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations is engaged in
Yes.
Jamaica. So we support that. However, because of my background as an academic leader, as the dean of the college, uh,
Hmm.
on the syllabi and
Hmm.
curricular side,
Right.
I have significant experience and connections. And
Okay.
the next level of our collaboration, hopefully, will be articulation agreements that will allow students from given disciplines to continue their program here in the United States with specific institutions. And
Okay.
we hope to expand this well beyond, that is through UJA, well beyond Nakalva Polytechnic College, and include a
Okay.
number of other
That's a.
institutions with a
Hmm.
focus on the discipline that the student is interested in and the disciplines that are critical to the nation at this point. I
Correct.
must underscore one of those that is critical. In no particular order, I'll mention three. In no particular
Right.
order,
Right.
uh, technology.
Okay.
It is very important for individuals to understand the unique stage that we are in the development of digital technology.
Hmm.
It allows us to do some remarkable things. And we don't have
Correct.
time on this occasion to talk about
Yes.
artificial intelligence, but it is already well understood that the future
Hmm.
belongs to further development of artificial intelligence. So that's
Oh,
one
yes.
area that Jamaica needs to gain currency in.
Yes.
Secondly, Jamaica and the Caribbean, and one might identify any region of the world,
Mm.
needs to have these regions need to have some level of food security.
Yes.
And so the Agricultural Foundation at Nakalva will allow us to partner with other institutions. And there's another couple institutions in Jamaica that
Okay.
must carry the mantle of food security. And I think of CASE, which is the old
Oh, yes.
JSA,
In Portland.
yes, which
Mhm.
must play a leading role in facilitating food security for the
Yes.
nation. And so we're hoping to provide scholarships, hopefully at an advanced level, and research opportunities for bright and talented and highly motivated students
Yes.
to reach their highest potential for themselves and for their families and nation.
Of course.
So these are areas in which we are going to be engaged as an organization.
Okay. Totally. Dr. Nelson, thank you so very much for having me this morning. I find the conversation very informative, and I'm sure our listeners will.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming,
you.
and good luck in
Yes.
your work.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
All right.
Thank you so much.